Hey y'all, welcome back. All right, let's dive in and see what Divine Holy Spirit has for you. Whatever messages you need to know right now will be made aware of any circumstances that may be looming. All right, let's see. Holy Spirit, what do you have for the collective? What's collective need to know or be made aware of, please? And thank you. Please put my ego to the side. I do not want to hear from my ego. All right, I heard bittersweet. Okay, shout out to Fantasia. All right, y'all, let's see what's going on here. Maybe make mention of this Two of Pentacles and Nine of Wands here. See if they come out in the reading. All right, thank you, Spirit. It's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. What's bittersweet? What exactly are we referring to, Spirit? Please help me with these messages. All right, let's go. Yes, I'll always love you, but it's bittersweet. Ooh-wee. Oh, okay, y'all. Okay, all right. All righty. Y'all know I just got some information, so. But let's see how that plays out. And I'll let you know. I'll let you in on a little secret once we get going here. You know I will. All right, I think that's good. I think that's good, y'all. That's good, right? All right. Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck, y'all. All right, I'm already going to tell y'all that this has to do with some sort of departure here, because that's why I kind of out loud, you know, because it hit me. This is some sort of, it's bittersweet because somebody's not acknowledging who they really are by way of who they desire to love or who they desire to be with. So this is them having to walk away from the one true, I want to say thing, situation, person, ideal, lifestyle, or, you know, if they were to live out loud and be who they truly wanted to be, they would be free from all sorts of things that are causing hindrances in this lifetime. But the fact that they refuse to acknowledge who they actually love and want to be with, that's the problem. So that's why the bittersweet is coming up. So I can say that confidently now, because with all the cards out here, and then especially seeing this Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck, that's giving things a rest. Like finally putting things to bed, literally. So this could, I mean, if it's not about, you know, someone honoring, you know, their sexuality, I'll say, then it has to do with them acknowledging that, you know, things aren't going to work out as planned or how they had hoped for. So it's time to put a lot of things to rest and to bed for once and for all. That's the bottom of the deck energy here with this Four of Swords. So let's jump into it, y'all. The first two cards I saw that came out was this King of Swords and then this Emperor. So these are two power positions here. Now, if this is just an indication of, you know, what I was picking up with a duo here, having to walk away from what they know to be true to the both of them. Like if they could have their like perfect world, it would have involved one another. But because they can't, or one of them, I would say, one of them can't face that, you know, this is who they want to be with. This is who they want to be in this life. And by them being with this person, it would cause them to have to play a different role than what they've been masquerading or you know, how they've been portraying themselves to be, which was not them being honest with themselves. We'll get into the energy of this Emperor and this King of Swords here in a moment, but I just wanted to recognize, you know, the position, the power, you know, is a power couple here. Like these are like major players here. Or maybe when they came together, that's how they made each other feel, is what I'm getting here. So, the emperor, I feel, is someone who, people would look at as, I'm not even going to go against what they say because they got that. They earned that position. They're obviously in that chair for a reason, because people most likely either fear them or they trust them. It's either or when they're in that emperor seat. But the emperor is that long-standing position. So I'm feeling like the emperor was the one who was comfortable with being out loud and proud, if that's how we want to interpret this. Because even if it doesn't have to do with sexuality, they were accepting of who they were, right? So if they were an asshole, they were good at being an asshole, and everybody said, oh, you know what, don't mind Tony. Yeah, he's an asshole, but his heart is really pure. Or, something like that. Giving them excuses. That's that emperor energy. Now, the King of Swords is someone who I feel like is like, I really like this guy. If this is a guy speaking, right? Someone who's hiding their sexuality, this King of Swords, right? Someone who's full of tricks and maneuvering and manipulations just to hide who they really are and how they really feel about someone, or just masking themselves, period. So if this King of Swords energy is like, man, I really like Tony. Tony's arrogant as fuck, like me, like, look at them. Like, they're so, like, I love everything about them. But the King of Swords is someone who sits back and plots. So there might have even been some reservations with this King of Swords saying, I want to be like Tony. I want to be with Tony, and I want to be like Tony. So it like turned into some sort of sick obsession here with this energy. First of all, they're wearing a mask, but they're doing deeds behind closed doors that they don't want other people to know about, this King of Swords. So there you go. There are your two personalities right there. Now, with this Three of Pentacles, I can already tell, they came together for some sort of, I feel like it was some sort of business endeavor, some sort of partnership. I don't know if love was one of those things that they thought would happen, but there is some sort of, there is romantic involvement here with these two. But, that's where the whole bittersweet came from, because the King of Swords is not acknowledging that they really actually probably do love this emperor. Because this King of Swords is, love is not their thing. They don't have really a lot of emotions. They're more of a thinking sort of person. That's how they process emotions. Like, for this King of Swords can come off as kind of cold-hearted. Like, do you have a heart? Depending on what position that they're in, upright or reverse. Right now they're on their side, but it's tipping toward the reverse here. But you see, the Emperor is coming out of that energy. The emperor is saying, okay, well, if you're not going to accept the relationship or accept who I am, or accept, that I am your significant other, or if you're not going to introduce me to family, if you're always going to act like a front, if you're always going to bring that beard around, because I'm hearing that. So if the King of Swords is with a female, like if this is a male with a female, the female is the beard, but the emperor is not having it, because the emperor is the one who's comfortable with who they are. But they were dealing with that King of Swords and kind of just, letting the King of Swords just kind of like, feel their way through this, giving them a chance, giving them time to be comfortable with who they are, drop the mask, drop the facade. But the Emperor is like, okay, I have to move on now. Like Three of Pentacles is like, I have other things going on here. I have, whoever this emperor is also giving me vibes to where they don't really want for anything. I mean, they're the emperor. Of course they don't. They have people at their beck and call, if that. They rarely have to lift a finger because they have people to do things for them. Or it's just like they maybe the networking, they build up a nice roster of people, that are saying like, Tony, this isn't like you. Like, Tony, like, what are you doing? But the King of Swords is Tony's little secret. But the Emperor doesn't, Tony, I'm calling the Emperor Tony. Tony, is like, okay, already, I'm ready to, move on with life. I can't continue to hold the secret in because, it's just not a good look for me. And plus, the King of Swords is coming around and they always got an attitude, or they're not friendly, or, the friends of the Emperor, Tony, they're like, what are you doing with this guy? Like, who is this guy really? Like, are y'all together? Like, are they out? Are they... this is what the Three of Pentacles, they want to help get Tony out of this. And I think this is what is happening with that Four of Swords energy at the bottom of the deck. Like, give it a rest. It's bittersweet. It's gonna hurt. But yeah, this King of Swords isn't willing to, go along the journey with you, Tony. What are you doing? Tony could also be a celebrity. Tony could be somebody who is out and recognized and, with that Three of Pentacles. But I really feel this has to do with the confidants. They're like, yeah, you got to go ahead and cut that one loose. Talking about the King of Swords here. All right, yep, here we go. High Priestess card. So that's that intuition coming in. And the Page of Cups reversed. That's like withdrawing of emotions. Like, however little you can start this process, Tony, the Emperor, let's go ahead and get this thing going. You need to get rid of this King of Swords, whoever that is. Because they don't mean you any good. Like, you're beautiful. I just feel like the Emperor is like a beautiful person, like a well-groomed male. Like, they have like the best of fashionable clothing. They live in a nice place. They drive a nice car. Like, they know a lot of people, like good people. And when this King of Swords comes around, it's like people can sense like the energy is bad. Like, the energy is off. Like, are you sure, this is what you want to do? I'm just feeling the energy of like their squad, lifting them out and away from this King of Swords energy. Even with the High Priestess here, their own intuition with this Emperor, and they're like, yeah, this isn't gonna work for me. All right, let's see what else is going on here, because I do see the Tower reverse. I'm going to flip over the card on top. Oh, there's two cards on top. Oh, okay, so yeah, here we are. Nine of Swords is here, and the Seven of Wands is also here. So, the Seven of Wands has to do with eventually possibly becoming overwhelmed with, this Nine of Swords right next to that. So did somebody find out something that's making Tony the Emperor uncomfortable because now the King of Swords is kind of freaking out? So was that the push of the Tower to where Tony's like, I'm out of here, I can't do this? Okay, so we have, interesting. The Seven of Cups is here, the Three of Swords, and the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, again, this was some sort of beneficial partnership here with this Ten of Pentacles. So were they like, did they start a business together? And then, it turned romantic with this Three of Swords here because the King of Swords did eventually start falling for this Emperor. But the Emperor is the one who was out and proud, like, yeah, I'm gay, so what? Like, everybody knows this, and I'm very successful, so it wouldn't matter anyway. No one's going to stop my coin, is what the Emperor is saying. But the King of Swords is the one who's, again, closeted. They're not accepting this. They have a wife. They have a girlfriend. They have, a beard. So they're not comfortable with, they would have to leave their significant other to be with the Emperor. It's just too much, too overwhelming for both parties involved, because the Emperor, they wouldn't mind having the King of Swords around, but they're not going to play this game with them. Because we have the Seven of Cups that says it's just too many emotions. It's too many roller coasters, emotional roller coasters here. This is too much for me. Yeah, the money is good and we can do big things together because, they match each other's energy here. They're both like ringleaders. But is the money, like the Emperor said, they're successful by themselves. All right, let's see what else is here. I didn't know this was going to turn into a love affair, like be on the inside. What's going on? All right, so over here to the left of this Tower energy is the King of Cups and, oh, the Queen of Cups. All right, so we have a duo here. But did this duo set off this outing, I want to call it, or like this severance, or like Tony saying, you know what, this isn't going to work for me, but that tower falling, there's a reason why the tower fell. And the fact that this King and Queen of Cups are here next to that energy, I have to think that it has something to do with these two. Okay, call me crazy, but this Queen of Cups possibly is some, oh, okay. So yes, I'm being drawn back to a previous reading here. Okay. So, I don't even want to speak on the previous reading right now. Let me see what else is out here, and then I'm going to pull some clarifiers, and then, if then, I'll tie it back in. All right, y'all. We have the Strength card reverse, and on top of that is the Death card reverse. I just heard a Tupac lyric just like that right when I flipped these cards over, but I was letting it set to see if there was anything else. But the Ambitions of a Rider by Tupac, when he says, I won't deny it, I'm a straight rider, you don't want to F with me. Got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to a G. So yeah, here we go, y'all. This is definitely tied to this energy of this violent, whoever this is, that says they're not going to jail, they're not going to go down for the fall of whatever happened. Yo, oh my God, this is all tying to... Y'all, it's too much, because it's like I got to go back and review my videos to see what actually was said, because, you know, I pick up messages from spirit. So I forget what I said a lot of times, because, you know, that's just how this works. So it's like I want to stop the reading and go back and review my videos. But I'm like, okay, nah, spirit, you will let me know everything I need to know. All right, let's grab some clarifiers. And the reason why I paused and said all that is because, you know, the transformation card, that means that there is a transformation happening. So change is happening. It's manifesting, but I feel like there's an energy of somebody still trying to fight it with the Ambitions of a Rider lyrics. I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't want to got the police busting at me, but they can't do nothing to a G. Strength card reverse. It's going down whether this King of Swords likes it or not. This King of Swords has been exposed by this Queen of Cups and this King of Cups here. But you know, in a previous reading, that King of Cups, they were away from their Queen of Cups by some way, shape, or form, whether it be jail, whether it be them turning into an invalid, because that's a word that came up to meaning they can't even do for themselves right now because they're like in a bad way physically or even mentally. They came up in two different readings in that manner. And now the Queen of Cups is all by her lonesome, but there was an energy that was moving in on her. But the Queen of Cups now, I'm wondering, I don't even want to wonder right now. I'm not even, let me just go with the clarifiers, because this just took a whole nother turn. But it's good to know that, you know, the reading is about the couple, the same-sex couple, and one being outed in court. That's also tied to this, possibly. Spirit, can you clarify the energy on the table, please? Wherever you want, let the cards fall as they may. All right, I think that's good. That's good. All right, imprisonment at the bottom of the deck. So yeah, family room, it flew out over here beyond the camera span, but I just wanted to show you that. So this is involving some sort of family network. These people are all connected. I say all that to say, so even if they're not blood related, they really look to one another as like, you know what? I F's with you. You know, I would consider you more of a family than I would my own blood family members. That's how tight this connection was here. I'm going to put this here. Now, these cards were the first to fly out. Let's see what these are. So we have occupation, high honor, and house. House card just keeps coming up because this has to do with real estate, property, home ownership, deeds, false paperwork. All of that kind of stuff keeps just coming right on up here. So occupation, I feel like would have to have a lot to do with someone losing their position, or in fear or in threat of losing their position. Because that death card reverse and that strength card reverse, where these clarifiers kind of plop themselves down, I have to consider that, either they're going to lose their license or they're going to lose a house. I mean, they're hanging on to something, this energy, like desperately. So if this is this King of Swords, then I would say the King of Swords is the one who, teamed up with the Emperor because they were both in the same line of work. And if it has to do with real estate, then that's what it is, because that's kind of what I saw the Emperor as. They have that nice, that very contemporary suit on, where the pants are like slim fit, and, they rise a little bit at the ankles, and they have maybe like the little sheer socks on that you can't see, and the nice loafers. But I saw them standing in like a high-rise apartment building in like Manhattan, with the big windows, and then the furniture is so modern. There's not any clutter at all, but I just felt like they were kind of showing an apartment to lease to someone. But that's their line of work, is what I'm getting with this Emperor. They've been doing this for a long time. So then the King of Swords is like, I really like you. I like what you do. And the Emperor is totally comfortable and confident with who they are, their sexuality and everything. They have a lot of friends in high places with that Three of Pentacles. Right? But then the King of Swords starts to, overly admire this Emperor so much to where it became an obsession. Like, I want your position and I want you. So something happened. Maybe they locked lips somewhere, in a smoky room, and it was on from there. But, the Emperor doesn't want to keep things a secret. But the King of Swords is like, nah, this can't come out. I got a wife, I got a girl, I got a family, I got kids. Can we just keep getting money, and then I'll just continue to, deny this whole relationship? And, Bittersweet, the Emperor's like, no. Now with the imprisonment card, look, 2 and 9 is 11. I mean, it was obvious from jump. When I saw those two and started feeling what I was feeling, I was like, yeah. So with the imprisonment card, it's like they don't want to be locked down, the King of Swords. But then the Emperor doesn't mind, having this person around. So it could go either way. Now, the King of Swords would definitely have imprisonment of the mind. Now, if we were talking about physical imprisonment, that energy came out with that King of Cups. So what was done to that King of Cups energy that caused them to be away? So away meaning jail, or away from, what they were normally doing. Because I felt like they were in the Emperor card did come out with that King of Cups, I believe, in a reading around the same energy. But it's still connected to a house, right? Occupation, right? Yo, what is this triangle we weave? What is this web of lies that we weave? So is the Queen of Cups the beard for this King of Cups, aka the Emperor? Yo, what is happening here? All right, those were the clarifiers. That was the message. But we just need to find out what's going on with this King of Cups now. The King of Cups is the one who's away, moving on, that energy from previous readings. But if that's the Emperor, then the Emperor definitely got hemmed up in some sort of way to where they have to get out of here, because the Tower fell. The Tower card is underneath these cards. So I was asking what happened to cause the Tower to fall. These fours could stand for prison bars, but taking a rest, going away, taking a seat back, that also the these two cards match, y'all. But I feel like this is what happened to the King of Cups, because their energy has been withdrawn somehow. I don't know, y'all. This is where I get off, though. So I hope this helps.